Fuck Phat and Spicy.
Fuck those guys, dude. That's all I know.
That intro never gets old, bro.
Never, never, never,
Like-
never.
I don't know. I'm gonna give some inside baseball here, but when Phat and I are doing our pre-show about a half hour before we go live, in about the middle of that, just to kind of jazz us up, we play the long version. And I don't know if you guys know that, but there's a long version. The record is out now at your local Tower Records. So run to your local mall and pick it up.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Yeah, we're releasing a vinyl press LP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, limited edition. That's
We're hoping it'll go on CD soon, but the set sales aren't there yet.
Yeah, you know, man. Gotta go on 8-track first. Dude, that's crazy.
You ever have an 8-track?
No, I never had one myself. I've worked on vehicles, you know, growing up, like pretty much like in a body shop, painting body, dealing with old cars and stuff. We did a lot of antique restorations. I've seen them, you know, I've played them, but I've never had one myself. I think the oldest thing I've probably ever had was a cassette player, a Walkman on the hip, you know.
I used to walk through a mall with the Walkman on.
Do you remember, dude, when the headphones were literally nothing but like a thin piece of metal that went across your head, and then like these two little fuzz balls?
Yep.
It was horrible, man.
I probably bought a new pair of those once a month, maybe. Either the head things would bend or break, or the cord would snap. It would come out of the headset. They were always cheap.
Oh man, dude, those things.
We thought we were the cock of the walk, dude, when we had our Walkmans out and just bopping along, like, you know, we just thought we were. And then Discman came out. If you had a Discman with the anti-skip, oh boy.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. So, with the anti-skip, you knew it.
Yep.
You knew
that
were
was
doing
all you
something.
needed. That's right.
So what is it, these right here?
You got one? That's it. That's Jesus.
Those fat boys right there, dude. God,
you just gave me agita just looking at that thing already.
Oh man, and the bad thing about it, man, is these things they would break. They would break, and then you would just have one headphone right there. You're just like, or you walk around with the what we call the people that take your orders at McDonald's and stuff.
Oh, the Walkman thing.
You know,
the drive-through.
Yeah, that's what you walk around looking like, because the other one's broken.
Thank you, drive-through.
I tell you what, though, with these, what was fun about these is once they broke, if you were like in school, because in school obviously you couldn't have it. It was a no. It was no. There was no earbuds. You know what I'm saying?
No.
There was no earbuds. There was headphones, and that was it. There was headphones, and there was studio headphones that they were using, like, you know, movie productions and stuff, or you know, in music studios. The thing about these is once they would break, dude, what we used to do is we used to wear our long sleeve sweaters and jackets and stuff, and we'd slide it up our arm and just kind of do this while we're sitting there like this.
Did you sit at your desk?
Yeah. So if you wonder why your parents or somebody you know is a little bit older, they don't hear from one side, that's probably, you know.
That's me. That's not from me though. I mine's been playing the bass, but I always had to put my headphones on and I wanted to crank it. But speaking of the music out of those little headphones, everybody could hear what you were listening to.
Oh yeah.
There was no privacy. You know, if you were listening to something good, everybody knew.
Yeah, Mr. RGB says he can make it happen with his 3D printer. How's that?
Hey, man.
3D print some classics, right?
My dad had a 1976 or 77 Lincoln Continental Mark V. This thing was a boat.
I'm about to say that's a big boat. That's a big car.
It was a huge, long car. Back when cars were limos inside, you know.
Oh yeah.
Even right, but this thing was a beast, and it had the old 8-track in there. And I remember my dad, it got stuck, so all we could listen to was a Willie Nelson 8-track.
Oh, it got stuck, dude. I've had that.
You couldn't get it out.
That was it. It was Willie Nelson all the time.
Don't fence me in, Poncho and Lefty, dude. I got fucking You Are My Sunshine. I got them all. I don't like country one bit, but I can sing any Willie Nelson song on that 8-track because that's all my dad listened to. Now, now that I think about it, maybe he was bullshitting me. He's like, you can't pull it out, otherwise it'll break it because it's stuck. Maybe it wasn't stuck. Maybe he just wanted to listen to Willie Nelson all the time, and I had no way to bitch about
it. He just got you in the never-ending loop of Willie Nelson. No, dude, no, they used to stick, man. These just like tapes used to get ate up in the cassette player.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was horrible, man. Nothing worse than pulling out your favorite fucking cassette and then the whole string comes out with it, dude. That's like that's a mood killer right there.
It is.
You know, or
I worked at a
like,
Christian radio station, and some of the programs that we did were on cassette back in the day. And if that thing got stuck, it was all over because we have to play it like 3 hours later. You know what I mean, as well. So whatever. But I used to remember you'd listen to it, you'd cue it up on the tape, like you'd rewind it where you wanted it, and then you'd stop it right where you want it, and you'd pull the tape out. You'd stick a pencil in the little hole,
and just
and
cue
you'd
back a
pull it
little.
back just a little bit, so you still had like a second gap of perfection.
Yeah, yeah,
Old radio
yeah.
tricks.
I don't know about that. You used to rewind your cassettes with a pencil. You just stick a little pencil there and turn it
Yep.
around. That's crazy. Oh man, dude. Let's see. Was there say I could 3D print? Yeah, dude. I'd be into buying a logo, dude. If you could 3D print one, I'd buy one from
So
you.
I've got the green screen here, but I would love like a big
Yeah, I'd buy one.
real Fat and
I've
Spicy.
always wanted a 3D printer, man. I wanted to print out, like kind of action figures, paint them, or just even leave
Yeah,
them blank, and just sell them to people. And that'd be pretty
dude,
cool.
dude, little Fat and Spicy figures.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. I've seen people. Do they make their own Funko Pops?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we need some fat and spicy Funko Pops, dude. That's what we need. Not a bobblehead, man.
Aren't Funkos kind of bobbleheady? Don't they?
They
A little?
have
I
the
don't know.
bobblehead look, but they don't bobble.
Oh, they don't bob. Okay, I don't have any Funkos.
Unless there's a Funko Pop out there that bobbles, I don't know about.
I just
Who
don't have a
knows?
place to put anything like that, so I just don't buy it.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Glue it right on your fucking forehead.
If it was a spicy one, I'd have that thing sitting on the hood of my car.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking amazing. Oh man, but other than that, dude, yeah, the old days. Then we evolved into what CDs?
Yeah,
Dude, man, do you remember floppy disks?
dude, I remember 5.5 inch, the big ones. It took me
Oh,
4 of those big discs to play Risk on my 286.
dude. I mean, the things. I don't think the new generation ever like looks back on the old stuff and realizes, how far we've come.
Yeah,
From even if you're gaming, even if that's what you like to do, you want to game, dude. We've come so far.
yeah. Look up, if you will, over there. Normally we'd have Laws do it, but she is just swamped with work right now, so
Look at
we're
these.
gonna let her have the night off. But look up AOL Neverwinter Nights. There it is. Go to the So that's what it looked like when you logged in, but go to like the third picture there, the second or third picture.
This
That's what
one,
it looked like when you were walking through the alleys, and it was all like it would be the next picture, then the next picture. Now go to the one. No, you just passed it
this
up.
one here,
Yeah, that one. That's what it looked like when you were in a dungeon and in combat. You'd see your little character on the floor. See that one with the red? I think you had
this one here.
that one there. Hard to see. Anyway, it
Oh
was
man,
the world's first visual MMO. And it was
really?
all in VGA graphics. It was all very blocky, but you played with other people. You knew when other people, yeah, we'd all meet at the tavern and sit and chat. It was no voice,
Wait, what do you
but
mean?
you'd
What do you
make
mean?
your little.
What do you mean you played with other people?
It was a game that you played online with other people. It was an MMORPG.
It was an online game.
Yeah, it was the very first online game uh, that
God
was
damn.
visual like that. AOL made it. It was, like I said, called Neverwinter Nights. It was a D&D licensed product. You rolled your character. I had a halfling thief. And we just go out and like you couldn't go into the sewers unless you were a certain level because you just get killed by the golems. But you could like go out adventuring or you go meet people and have big adventures. Sometimes you need to group up with people to kill like the blue bottles and all the big monsters and stuff like that. They're dragons and liches.
Jeez, dude, I think the first ever like MMO that I actually played online was like EverQuest.
Yeah, I remember EverQuest. I loved that
Dude,
one.
dude, that was like the first one that I ever got introduced to, man. And then I went into a couple of other ones. There was like back in the day it was
Ultima Online.
Fly FF. There was um there was Maple Story was big back then.
What one? What was that?
Maple Story.
I don't
It's
know
like
that one.
little chibi characters, man. I don't know how you describe that.
Yeah, let me see it.
So it's
Maple Story. I don't remember that one.
so this right here is essentially Maple Story. So it's almost like Gacha, you know what I mean? Gacha, like Chibi, whatever you
Is
want to
it
call it. You would
was it
create
just a
these little
chat room?
avatars here. No, you would go and you would actually have these battles.
Oh, no kidding.
So yes, it's a side scroll, and you
The
got
graphics
mages
look
and
kind of
different.
cool though.
Dude, it was for what it was amazing. So everybody
Dude, the
was like,
graphics look amazing.
yeah, if you looked at your characters, there was so much customization that everybody looked different. You had
That's
builds and stuff.
cool.
Then I
Dude,
got into like RuneScape and stuff like that. I spent a majority of my time, which is where, if people don't know, that's where RS Fat comes from. It's RuneScape Party Hat. And people was like, "Oh, RS Fat." I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then some people get it, some people don't. It's fine.
our
Actually,
friend
that's
Ella.
where my I got a tattoo of the little green crown, a little green party hat on my arm there. See it?
I love you, bro. You remember our friend Ella from Red M? Knew right away who you were.
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah,
who
yeah,
you
yeah.
were, but
Yeah, but
she
yeah.
said she saw your name and she's like, RuneScape Party Hat. And I'm like, what the how do you fucking know that?
Yeah. So shout out to the people that know that, definitely, like I said, I spent a lot of my childhood on that. They wonder why I don't stick around with grinding games anymore. I grinded away my childhood. You know? Like, I burnt out early on,
Yeah.
way early on, grinding each skill. And there was like 20 something skills, man. You each one to 99, 0 to 99. And it was just
If
repetitive
you
motion.
if you could have one game from your childhood remastered and perfected and brought to today, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know mine.
Man, I enjoyed Conkers a lot. Um, but honestly, a game from my childhood. Tell me about yours. Let me look mine up because I can't remember the name of mine.
Mine would be X-Wing.
X-Wing?
Star Wars X-Wing. It
Was
was
that
it
Nintendo
was the
64?
no, it was PC.
Oh, PC.
Yeah. It was an X-Wing, Star Wars X-Wing flight simulator. One of the first flight simulators out there, but it was in space and it was full 3D motion and all of that. You went up and you did missions and it had a long storyline. And one thing I liked about it, dude, I loved about it, was at the end of a mission, you'd get a ribbon, like a little battle patch on your uniform. What's this? Oh yeah, this is X-Wing.
This is it?
This is it. This isn't the gameplay.
No, I'm assuming it's not the game, but this is the trailer for it. Now, there was a game on 64 that was Star Wars where you did fly, and
Oh,
I played some of the games, and I want to say it looked similar to this. I'm saying I don't know if it was released on
this
64.
brings back memories.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, most
Okay,
definitely. I think they actually
Crash
did
Bandicoot.
go back and remake Crash Bandicoot with better graphics, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think they did too. X-Wing Alliance is that one. So X-Wing Alliance, there was a series of them. There was X-Wing, and then there was
Mhm.
TIE Fighter.
Gotcha.
So TIE Fighter, you started out in a shitty TIE Fighter, and you worked your way up. The better the pilot you got, and you ended up working for the Emperor, and you got this tattoo on your wrist. It was like the Emperor's hand, and you got filled in as you did more missions, and it became bigger and bigger, and you
I get it. This
eventually
is it
end up
right here. This is the one
serving
I
the
played.
Empire.
That's the one I
All right,
played.
so which one is this? Which one?
This
What's
is
this?
Star
Oh,
Wars
Rogue
Rogue
Squadron, dude! I
Squadron.
loved Rogue Squadron.
This is the one I played. It used to fly in. You take these big old things. I don't know what they are. Sorry guys. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Star Wars. I
You
played the
take
games
these
and
big
stuff.
old things.
What are those big old
You mean
elephant?
ships?
What are those big old elephant things out there walking around?
Oh, the AT-ATs.
Yeah, yeah. You
The
take those
elephant
things.
things that are walking. God damn.
Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? I'm not familiar with Star Wars. Sorry guys. One day I'll watch them. Okay. One day I will go back and I'll watch all these Star Wars to make Spicy
I don't know where
happy.
my toys went. I lost my toys. I was going to show you my Han Solo blaster.
Oh man, dude. See that all this right here just brings back so much nostalgia for me, dude. Just walking into like I don't know if people are familiar with the concept of like movie gallery or Blockbuster.
I worked at
Going,
Blockbuster for a
really?
summer. Oh yeah, loved it.
So you would go in, right, and you would just be like, you would see all these games on the wall just lined up, and you would just, my parents were like, let's go rent a movie, And you'd be begging, like, can we get a game, please? Can we please get a game? Can we please get a game? Um, dude, oh man, dude, golly, so many classics, bro.
The first time I ever played a Super Nintendo, I was over at was it Super Nintendo or N64?
This is what I'm talking about right here. That's me.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was a Super Nintendo, and my buddy had Star Fox.
Ooh, classic.
And I remember he had his own apartment. He was like 18, just moved out of his parent. He had money. So he and I are sitting on the floor of his apartment, drinking beer, playing fucking Star Fox. And you want to talk about a game that was ahead of its time? Star Fox was ahead of its time, dude. It was beautiful. The storyline was engaging. It was fun.
You know,
So,
I didn't really get to play a lot of single player games. I mean, growing up with three other brothers, you
oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it was either multiplayer and we all played or nobody played. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna argue. It's my turn. It's my turn. No, you died. Well, I died. Let me die one more time. You'll get two turns. You know, it was too much compromise and too much arguing. So it was either four player or no player. So we did a lot of uh, WWE. We did a lot of
Yeah,
racing games.
yeah.
So we did a lot of what else did we do? What's the game with the Super Smash Bros?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You know, so
I
anything
got
that was
three kids.
fighting.
My three kids will sit and they'll play Super Smash or whatever it is, the Smash games on the PlayStation. They each have their own controller. Dude, they'll play for hours, just the three of them going against each other and knocking it all around. It's fun to watch.
Oh yeah,
But
dude.
I was an only child, so I all I had was single player games.
So I don't know if you can
What's
see this right now. This is called Flying Dragon.
what's
So
that? Is
this
that
was a game. This was a game from my childhood. So this is probably one of the games that this is probably one of the games that I would probably want to get remade.
okay?
You know, it was amazing to me. You know, the whole thing was, you know, it's kind of like Street Fighter. You know, where it's just kind of like your side scrolling fighter, but each individual character had its own little, you know, unique quirks and unique fighting styles. The cool thing about it to me was when you played the game, you not only got to play as the smaller version of themselves, but you got to play as the bigger versions of themselves. So it's like
Oh,
the
that's cool.
so you see here, so you see this is the bigger version,
Uh-huh.
and then you would get to play as the smaller version of them.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't know what the difference was. I think the older ones had like more advanced move sets,
Okay.
but you know, I'm not sure. But I enjoy. We used to sit there and we used to come home from school and we would take our Nintendo over to our neighbor's house, our friend's house, and we would just sit there and we would play back and forth, just beating each other. It was that.
Huh.
It was Killer Instinct
Oh,
Gold.
dude. Killer Instinct.
Yeah,
Oh man, the characters.
yeah,
There was Glacier. There was I forgot the wolf dude. There
yeah.
was the skeleton dude. The chick with the panther. Remember that? Oh man, so many. Do you remember a game called
Saberwolf
Time
was
Killer?
the wolf,
Saber Wolf.
and you would transfer.
And
Go,
it looked
"Roar." It was
and it
crazy.
looked good. Like it was so 3D looking when you did the combos and stuff. Like it was
Oh,
beautiful.
it was. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me. But whenever I remember games, I remember them being like. I'll go back and look at some of the gameplay, like
Hmm.
007, you know,
Yeah,
GoldenEye. I'll go back
yeah.
and look at the gameplay, and I'm like, oh, you know, what is that? Because in my mind, it was so much more. It was
Yeah.
more. It was
Because
so in depth.
we didn't have a frame of comparison, bro.
Exactly. You're right. You're
You
right,
know,
dude.
when I played X-Wing and I'm going and I'm cruising along the surface of a Star Destroyer and I decide to pull off and go wherever I want in space and that thing gets farther and further away. It was open realm space. And I'm like, wow, it's never gonna get cooler than this. Now,
It's
dude,
never
look what
gonna
we're
get
doing today.
exactly.
Shit. I mean, you know, just in the MMO field or the online games like the 5Ms that we love to play. You know, it's
Oh
so
man.
gorgeous. I'm in the city right now, a new city, and I'm just checking it out and having some fun. And I happened to catch the sun coming through the palm trees, and the way it separates the into rays. I was just like, man, you can't tell the difference anymore between real life and I play MLB baseball on my PlayStation. That's like my little relaxation game. I'll sit in my chair, watch a movie on my laptop, and play on the PlayStation, play some baseball, and even the crowd. Every person in the crowd does something different. You know what I mean? It's not the same. You remember like back when you
Yeah,
played the wrestling games and the
yeah.
crowd was all
Everybody was just everybody was the same motion, dude.
hmm
And then you'd have I remember when games had the same copy, the same person, and
yeah,
the crowd is
yeah,
just the same
oh yeah.
guy. But back, I mean,
And
it
now
was
you
now
now
you have
games have individual
individuality.
blades of grass.
They got individual shirts. They got hairstyles are different, dude. Back then they didn't even worry about the crowd. It was just blobs of blur. You know what I'm saying? Just that's
hmm
what it was. It was blurry blobs in the background.
hmm
You know, to give the
And we
look.
bought it, and we
God,
paid premium for it.
did you ever play this game?
Army
Army
Men,
Men.
yes
Army Men is
sir,
another one that I would like to get remade, dude.
yes sir.
For those of you that don't know, Army Men was basically the same thing. The little green Army Men from Toy Story. You would play as these guys, and you would go kill other Army Men with flamethrowers, guns, shotguns. You see some of the bazookas, and you would go. But the thing about it is, these maps are your Army Men, so they're real world. Like you're in somebody's house, and you see the
Dude,
wine bottle and everything.
I love that. So, like you're in the
God, it
bedroom, in
was
some kid's bedroom, and
yes.
the bed's 10 feet tall.
And you got
Yeah,
to get up there. You got to figure out a way to, you know what I'm saying, to get up there and pick the level, dude. It was crazy.
it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Soldiers.
Oh man, dude. Oh, you're taking me down a pathway, dude.
Of course, of course. This is a Category 6 storm of gaming. By the way, how are you with that? I know that you guys just survived the last one.
dude. Man, I'm fortunate enough to sit here and say that nothing really major happened to where I'm living at. You know, everywhere around me, the power went out. Fortunate enough for me, my power only flickered and it stayed on the whole entire time. Now, in my backyard, my fence did get blown over. You know,
Oh, that's right. You showed me that. Yeah.
yeah, that was okay. Some of the shingles kind of came off the roof, but that's easy enough to patch. Um, but as far as anything major like damages, we were
Yeah.
spared. And like I said, I can say that is the easiest way to put it because everybody around me, like other neighborhoods, it was horrible. I mean, you
It was
got
almost like it might have
trees,
been a tornado. You know how it passes
dude.
everybody but one house.
Dude, it was crazy. Our neighborhood was like the only one around us that had power.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you got
So
another one coming.
yeah, now we got another one coming, dude. Like I think that's the severity of it was a lot more towards like Atlanta.
hmm
I'm in Savannah, which is on by the coast, but you know that wasn't the direction. We were catching a lot of the winds, but as far as the main path was going up north towards Atlanta, and like
Yeah.
I said, those small towns, dude, it wrecked them.
Is it
It
there?
wrecked them.
I mean, it was just what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They're still messed up. Like
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
sure there's still
people.
people without power and food.
I'm looking at my Facebook. I scroll my Facebook, and there's people still now just saying, "Hey, finally got." It's crazy. It's wild, dude. Like I said, it's been years since we've had a storm hit Georgia that hard. I
Mhm.
think it's been like 10 plus years, dude, since we had a storm or a hurricane that did that much damage.
So what's going to happen with this next one to you guys? I mean, this thing. What did they say? I think we were talking before the show. What was it? The atmospheric
Yeah,
maximum?
the equation or something like that they use, it's reaching that maximum. It's reaching that point where it's like it's basically going off the charts. Like what do we do with that? Who is prepared for that?
I mean, how can you be prepared for that?
There's nothing you can do. We went and we stocked up on water. We stocked up on toilet paper, just kind of like the basic things. And it's not even stock. I don't even say stock. It's not we got a whole closet full of water and stuff. No, just a couple
Yeah,
bottles.
stop drinking those.
Yeah, no. Stop drinking bottled water. Do you
I
drink
saw
from the
you
sink?
drinking one before this show, dude. You can't be drinking your backup. Look at that little guy. I told him he couldn't afford the whole bottle.
Yeah, dude. No, this is actually what happens when people buy. This is what's left. This is what's
Yeah.
left in the stores.
Is that what was left?
Well, now we went. They finally restocked, so we were able to get actual normal size bottles. But when I went the other day, I think it was 3 days ago, is all they had left, and it was literally down to the last, I want to say 10 cases, and I took 4.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I saw
you be
another
careful.
family. I was gonna buy more, but I saw another family walk up. You got kids and stuff, and I was like, I got kids too, but it's kind of like one of those things. Try to mediate yourself. What do
Yeah.
you do?
I mean,
That and
we 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 both got big families. I mean, you got to take care of
yeah,
them though.
yeah. It brings you into that mindset of, are you ready? Are you truly ever prepared for something like this to happen? People were not prepared. People this was something that happened. I mean, when I tell people all the time, I'm like, imagine when the grid goes down. I'm like, and I told my daughter, we're riding around. There's no stop signs. There's nothing on. People are just kind of going on about their day, trying to figure out what to do. I was like,
Yep.
this is what's gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? When it all goes down.
Well, the good news is that they won't be driving very much longer because they won't be able to buy gas because the grid is down. So at least
Exactly.
that will come to an end. Maybe people will learn how to share the road on their damn bicycles.
Well, the way that we were doing it all converted back to old law, which is old passive right away.
Mm-hmm.
You get there first, you go first.
Yep. And if you
That's what it
both get
comes
at the
to.
same time, the person on the right goes first.
Yeah,
Hence,
this is
right of way.
yeah, right away. That's it, guys. So remember that, guys, for the new generation. You see people driving, they stop at the light. The light's not working. It's a right away. That's how the old ways. That's how the old that's how old people did it.
Yep.
I know the
Oh,
young generation. They're like, fuck that, I'm going.
I had to teach
Uh,
my kids how to use hand signals in the car.
really?
You like to turn left and right?
No, man. The only one they need to worry about is this one right here.
Jesus. There was a dude in front of us. We were going to a birthday party. My daughter just turned 13. And we were coming back from a birthday party and this truck was turning and he did the hand up. And my daughter
As we
goes,
all
"See,
know,
babe?"
is this to signify his allegiance to Germany?
That's right. The opinions expressed on the Fat and Spicy Show do
Look,
not represent PNS Studios. So I have to say that we just need to make a recording so we can hit it
just
whenever we
play
say
a
something
little sound
stupid.
bit. Boom. No, but you said so you did the little
So
turning
I had to
thing.
teach her how, left, right, slow,
Yeah, I
all of
get it.
that. And they were all amazed that you could do that. I'm like, well, I mean,
Yeah,
they're young, they're not driving age yet, so they're like, well, yeah, that's a thing. I'm like, yeah, man.
yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? We communicate. A lot of back in the day, we communicate with each other on the road. Same thing when you're driving and somebody throws them two fingers up, off the steering wheel.
Yep.
You get that nod. You get that nod. What's up? That's how we do it. That's
I
how
think
we do it here in the country. I
I think
know
there was a
California's a
whole.
little bit different. You guys are a little more self-centered up
What are you talking about?
there.
Although in Portland, it was you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. No, you, and you're stuck there for 20 minutes.
I
That's how it
insist.
was in Portland.
I insist. That's fucking great. No, but yeah, dude, like I was saying, this is or like you were saying, it's definitely something that's gonna be like off the charts. That's what they're saying. The path itself, they still haven't predicted the path. They're still kind of like deciding which way it's gonna turn and which way it could go. And
I
then
saw it.
my timeline itself is full of a lot of people saying that it's not natural.
I
You
think there's
know,
a lot of people that are saying it's not natural, but you know what? When the oceans get warmer, this is what happens. This is science. This is the culmination of it's not Jewish space lasers like they'll say to you in Congress. There's no such thing. Trust me, you'd see them.
so
Um,
I mean, and people are going,
it's
they're saying, like, well, I mean, you have cloud seeding, right?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You have,
and I'm not saying that doesn't contribute,
so
but
you're forcing weather to act. You're forcing Mother Nature to act out of the norm. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you sit there and can you sit there and say that anytime that you're trying to make something act out of the norm, it's going to have a negative reaction at some point.
yeah,
Am I right?
yeah,
So
the
if somebody
butterfly
said,
effect,
if
right?
okay, let's just say let's just say you are meant to, your body is naturally meant to basically go for a good 8 hours, and then you gotta take a nap. You gotta go to sleep. Your body just shuts down. Well,
That's
then
about three for
all of a
me.
sudden, well, but let's use that for reference. All of a sudden, I come along and say, hey, look, this right here, get 4 more hours out of you. What do you think? Take a little sip, and you drink that. Yeah, you got four
Yeah,
more hours, but guess what's gonna happen eventually? What do they call it? The big what?
the
The
big
big
crash.
crash. The big crash. So when you do this and you take something that is not meant to, and you go against the natural order of things, you will and always will have a breakdown of either of chaos, or a complete shutdown of whatever the functionality is.
So like global warming, like you said. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to get off on all this because I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have the science knowledge. I'm a cook. What do I know, right?
Well, I
But
mean, we all
I know
know
that
something. We all know something. There's,
I know
there's
that
nothing.
yeah. When I was growing up in Portland, there were blizzards every Christmas. And then they just stopped. And now our winters are fucking warm up there. It's not the usual shit. You know what I mean? Things have changed. And even here in town, when we first moved here, 20 years ago, we heard that Crescent City was great because the weather was always between 40 and 70. We had snow on the ground a year ago. And we live at the beach. Like things are changing. Things aren't in the natural order. So yes, like you said, if men screw up, nature's going to take over that screw up and multiply it, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. And I'm not conspiracy theory, but that's not even conspiracy theory. That's just how it goes.
This is it. Like I said, you're disrupting the natural order of things. It's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens in anything. Anything you do, whether it's ecosystems, you know, whether it's farming, anytime you do something, you alter something in a way to get more out of it, it's gonna have a negative effect in the end.
This alters the natural order of things. Just a glass of beer.
Yeah, and it alters your state of being. Why do they think they
Absolutely.
don't they
And
don't let
and
you? Yeah,
the state of your body and everything.
exactly. So when you sit there, you take all this into consideration, and you sit and the thing about it is, I think the people of any country, are always looking for answers. They're always looking for answers, and unfortunately, a lot of time those answers come in the face of I need my finger. I need to be able to point my finger at somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a reason that religion doesn't sit well with me is because instead of going out investigating and figuring out what the answer is, a lot of people who don't know want to base it on a higher power or it's an entity's will or whatever. Well, maybe not always. Maybe there's a scientific explanation for it and we just haven't looked.
I mean, but to me, like there's so much happening, and it feels almost like a Mandela effect, or not. I want to say a Mandela. It's almost like deja vu. It's almost like every election to me, personally, this is what it feels like. At every election time, something happens. Something happens. Something's happening around the world that is causing complete chaos, to the masses. You know, do you feel that? Do you feel that at all?
I do. And I have a theory, and this is going to get a little conspiracy theorist.
Not a conspiracy theory coming from Spicy.
Yeah, actually,
That's
listen, look, I'm going to take off the sunglasses and I'm going to put on the professor glasses. There we
oh
go. Look
god,
at
the
that.
glare, the
Oh,
glare.
I know the glare.
Oh
So
god.
shut up. Shut up. He did this before the show and I almost fell out of my chair laughing. Um, so I do think that there are world programs out there that are doing, like you said, things to the weather that they shouldn't be doing, right? Like we have HARP, we have DARPA, and the HARP program is, they say it's to measure this and that in the atmosphere. And hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. You get
Welcome to the
recommended
show.
here from a mad. Are we that funny?
For
Somebody was
that
watching a Mad
strange.
TV sketch and they're like, "You'll like this show." Hey, thanks, man. You are now watching Fat and Spicy.
That's it.
Um, but I do think that these things that we have that are like doing things to the atmosphere, or if we're, just fucking around with just anything that we shouldn't be when it comes to Mother Nature. Now, I do believe we should be sending ships to outer space, satellites, all that stuff. I think that's fine. I don't really feel like we're destroying ecosystems, but when it comes to the planet Earth, man, stop screwing with it. Can we not be doing atmospheric pressure readings and seeding clouds? I know that we don't have, rain in these countries, but guess what?
It's
Go
not
move
supposed
to
to
where
rain
the
over there.
food is.
It's
Go
not
to where the
supposed to
food
rain.
is,
It's not supposed to rain over there. It's a desert for a reason.
right? And I'm quoting, and I hate to say this, but I'm quoting what was the comedian Sam Kinison? Oh, but he said it. He goes, Guys, don't send these people in these countries another bite of food. Don't send them another dollar. You know what you need to do? You need to send them some U-Haul trucks and yell at them and say, go to where the food is. Look at this. You see what this is? This is sand. Nothing grows in sand. Guess what it's going to be in 100 years? It's gonna be sand. Go to where the food is. Because we have deserts in America, but nobody lives there because there's no fucking food. I love Canada, man.
I get it. I understand that concept. It's like, you're out there, you're complaining about it being hot, but again, you're in the desert. There's no trees.
Yeah.
Like, at some point you have to have spatial awareness. You have to have, a little sense of, what do you call, you're taking responsibility for the situation you're in. And sit there and say, hey, I'm thirsty. The nearest beach is 3 states over. There's no stores. The nearest store is 3 states over. Like, you gotta sit there and say, hey, at some point, I have to be socially aware of my surroundings. I have to take some kind of, look and overview of where I'm at and the demands that I'm asking for.
Right. Can't we say the same about you living in a hurricane-prone area?
Well, see, the thing is with that, right? So, yes, but the thing is, you take these chances. Nowhere you go is going to be safe. You're picking and choosing. What is it? California has earthquakes, right?
Yeah, we do.
So, earthquakes. You have mudslides. You have tsunamis. You have what do you call them? Avalanches.
Hurricanes, like you got tornadoes. The whole thing.
Tornado valley. So nowhere you go, you're officially ever going to be safe from Mother Nature.
By the way, real quick, I have to cut you off. Iggy Miller, we love you too, brother. Thanks for watching.
Most definitely, guys. 32 football teams to choose from. 100 plus channels to watch. 50 religions, 1,000 restaurants, but just 2 major parties to run the whole thing. Right?
Well, I mean, with all those choices, we're kind of burned out with political choices. Do you really want to hear a debate from 7 candidates and have to choose between one of them?
Yes,
on the ballot?
That's
going to be exhausting.
I think you do. I think it should come down to that. I think there shouldn't just be 2 choices, dude.
I can understand 3 or 4, but more than that, I think it's 2.
Obviously not 7, but obviously not 2. You can't tell me that these 2 are the only ones that are qualified. You can't tell me that.
Well, I said that a long time ago. I think I said it on this show. I think I said it straight. Are you drinking a beer? What are you drinking? Juice?
This here is in honor of October. Everybody knows that it is a breast cancer awareness. So this here is pink lemonade Smirnoff.
Oh, Smirnoff. Okay. Because I know that I got you starting to drink the beer on the show.
I'm actually out. As my brother put it, damn dude, we haven't did our hurricane beer run
yet. dude, go now. After the show's over, get in the truck, go get the beers. I like. If I'm
gonna get blown away, if I'm gonna get blown away, we definitely gotta have a beer in hand. I got sucked up. The whole house was in the air, and it was spinning, and it threw us 3,000 feet from where we live. But I didn't spill my beer.
But I got the beer. You got an armful of fucking Coronas and shit.
That would be my brother. Like, golly, dude.
So is that a Smirnoff Ice, or is that like an actual vodka?
I think it's a vodka.
Are you drinking pink lemonade vodka, or just like
it's pink lemonade vodka.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but it'd be
alright. You're gonna drink that whole thing? That's like half a bottle in that glass.
I'm gonna drink the whole thing. Come on, that's in my blood. It's in my DNA. Come on. Anyways, this isn't an intervention for me. We're not switching this up. We're talking about the weather. We're talking about
whether or not you need help. I thought we already went through this once with DJ Bob.
So let me ask the audience something. If you could add a different party, what would it be under? What would be the other party?
I want the science party.
The science party. You want Tom Cruise?
No, I want Nobel laureates and professors and scientists and economists and these kind of people to run. I want people who don't look. How many senators do you have that are senators because they made a name for themselves and did something and then got elected? They have no political knowledge. They don't have any reason to be on there. And I'm talking about on the Democratic side too. I'm talking to you, AOC. Honey, I love you, but you ain't got no, you're a YouTube or whatever it was, influencer who got voted to Congress or the Senate. No, 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 no. I don't play that game.
But
I
you
think
think
the
about it.
party
Okay,
that we
let
need
me
are
ask you a
people
question.
that are informed of the
Do
real
you
science and the real facts.
do you feel that social media influencers have more pull than the politicians today? Like they
Okay, so we'll take that all the way back to the 90s. Who was the governor of California? Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger.
is he not anymore?
No. No, we got Gavin Newsom now.
You know
And
who else is? You
as
know who else is a governor?
liberal as I am, I'm not a fan. But what are you
You know who else is a governor? Kane,
Hmm.
wrestler, WWE.
Who?
Kane, the wrestler. He's
Oh, I know.
he's not a governor. He's a mayor. He's the mayor
No,
of.
he was a mayor.
He's a mayor. Yeah, he's a mayor.
It was Jesse Ventura, the wrestler. Jesse the
Yeah,
Body Ventura. He was
yeah,
the
yeah. He was the
governor of Minnesota, I think. Is that right?
governor. So.
Anyway,
Here we go. Look at it right here. A party line with Thomas Paine's philosophy.
who's Thomas Paine? Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. What are you talking about?
Let's see what it says here. He was an English-born American founding father, French revolutionary inventor, and political philosopher. He authored the book Common Sense, 1776. Very good.
So it says basically, belief in the inevitability of scientific and social progress, and the
There you
commitment
go.
to free markets and liberty generally.
That's right. So I think that we had, and I look like him, so I'm a little biased, but I think that Ben Franklin had it right. Don't I look like Ben Franklin? I got the hair, I got the bald on
Wait,
top.
do you like Ben Franklin, or you look like Thomas Paine?
You tell me. But I always liked Ben Franklin because he was a scientist. He was an inventor. He understood physics. He understood math. And he can rationally think on the basis of mathematics, numbers, and philosophy and take that into politics. And I think that's an amazing thing. I think that's a rare transformation is to get somebody who's really learned in politics.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was I didn't know Jesse
with
the
the
Body Ventura
Mongols.
was a biker.
With the Mongols, isn't that like Shia LaBeouf's little thing, or his dad?
Really?
Then Shia LaBeouf, that was his father and stuff, part of the Mongols.
I don't know.
I think it's so. I shouldn't be mistaken with that. But I get it. I get it, and I definitely think there needs to be a complete overhaul of everything.
Of everything.
Everything.
But that's my worry is, what does that mean? Does that mean civil war? Does that mean we're going to be fighting with each other to get that overhaul and figure out who the victor? Oh, excuse me.
It will have
who
to
the
be
winner is to
implemented,
write history.
and no, it would have to be implemented in small steps. Obviously, you can't afford, especially with how far we are now, unless you do a complete reset. But if you did a complete reset, unfortunately, that is going to cause a major downfall. Especially in the United States. It's going to be chaos, and then it's going to be peace.
And
which, unfortunately,
is
if you're religious, that kind of been prophesized already.
It's been prophesized all throughout history, right? No country, no empire lasts forever.
Yeah. Rise up against the machine. That's what I'm talking about. Coming back,
How do we go from video games to tornado or to hurricanes to rising up against the?
Well, it's
I love this show.
Like I said, we're talking about conspiracy. The old sense, and we were talking about weather. And one of the things that I did want to bring up was this happening around me, because you're asking what's happening around me aside from hurricanes. And there was actually
smoke plume crisis.
Yeah, it was a biolab that blew up in Conyers, Georgia. Okay.
I heard about this. I was going to ask you about how close is that to you?
It's a couple hours. But the thing about it is the size of this plume, the size of this. So essentially, what had happened was, as the story goes, is that there was a fire on the roof of the building. How it got there, nobody knows. But for some reason, there was a roof fire. This roof fire inevitably triggered the sprinkler system inside the building where they had exposed chemicals that reacted to water. And one of those chemicals, I believe, was I can't remember, was it TCC, TSS? I can't remember. It was but it was chlorine.
Okay.
So the stuff they use to like clean pools with and stuff.
I thought that you could put that in water.
So essentially, you can eventually. But what was happening was that it was reacting with it, and the fire itself was sending it into the air. So now, what that is causing is a plume of what is essentially chlorine gas. Okay? So now you have a plume of chlorine gas that is covering Conyers, and they're evacuating everybody. They're evacuating everybody around them. It got so bad, they're telling people, if you don't want to evacuate, don't run your ACs, close your windows.
So the stories from 4 days ago, is this plume still going?
The plume has since, I believe,
they got this capped off or something.
So look, I will show you.
Holy moly, look at that. Look at those pictures. Look at like the third one in.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the crazy part about it is, if you look in some of these pictures, this thing, after it was all said and done, you see the different color?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see the chemical burning in it.
So now you had this big old plume of almost like a purple color, in the air.
Yeah, look at it's like a rusty, dirty.
It was like this color here.
Wow.
And it was just sitting there, just up there. And the thing about it is, so now you have chlorine gas up there in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? If that happens to get into the clouds, that's acidic rain.
Yeah.
So, I'm over here thinking, like along the lines of, what is it going to do for the environment? What is this going to do for the people that are breathing this in? But to my surprise, nobody's talking about it.
Why?
Because everybody's worried about the hurricane.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have heard about what's going on with, in North Carolina and up there with those folks with the landslides and the mudslides and everything.
Mm-mm. Is it that bad now?
Dude, bodies on bodies, dude, of people just dying. People just getting, the mountains that they're getting washed away.
Is this because, and I'm not playing devil's advocate, I'm actually really curious. Is this because of all this climate change that, that's going on? Or is this because we have social media now and we can report these things real time? Like, if I'm lying in bed watching TikTok, like I was last night, and somebody puts something up, I see it 2 minutes after they put it up. You know what I mean? It pops right up and it's instant. We used to just read the paper, and that the Sunday paper talked about everything that went on in America for the week. The landslide would be this big.
So like I said, these are happening in Tennessee, and I get what you're saying. Is it the media? Is that the reason that But again, when you start looking at these news outlets and you start looking at these topics, and you start seeing things like most devastating since so and so. You start looking at the key words that says off the charts category. 5 going into a different.
Yeah, they don't even have a level for this thing.
Exactly. So you start looking at it and you sit there and you can make sense of it yourself and say, no, it's never happened before. Or it's been years since it's happened. But yeah, like I said, Tennessee, all these people that are living in the mountains, like right here, this one here says over 220 dead. So I mean, it's not just affecting the people where the hurricane hit. It's the water. It's the water rising. It's causing floods. So it's not just one thing, and there's a whole thing behind that as well. Especially with it happening in the mountains are getting flooded.
Oh yeah, the mountains are getting flooded. The
mountains
down off the mountains.
The mountains are. Let's put that out. The mountains are flooding. Okay, Come on.
Wait. I'll
But
tell you one thing. I got to say it. Speaking of flood, as an atheist, I found it extremely funny that a flash flood wiped out the Noah's Ark exhibit. Not saying, just saying.
Godly.
Come on.
Jesus.
Even as a Christian man, you got to admit that's funny shit.
Oh God.
Like you got to say God's got a sense of humor.
Say the thing again, man. With you, say the thing. The views of say it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The opinions expressed on the Phat and Spicy Show do not represent the views of PNS Studios. I'm just saying, come on,
But
man. That's funny shit.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's you try to find humor, especially amongst the devastation.
You have to.
But again, like I said, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we're talking about people like they're describing these scenes as horrific detail, bro. They're saying there's naked kids running around looking for their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like just completely covered in dirt, nowhere to be found. The linemen are complaining about the stench of death in the air being so bad.
Ooh, Jesus.
So when you sit there, dude, like I said, there's really no room, to try to find the comedy. It's more like this is what's going on. This is the gravity of the situation, and you have to sit there and you're forced to recognize it. You're forced to look at it in detail and sit there and say, this is somebody's livelihood. This is somebody's family. This is what they're going through. This is somebody's day to day. This is what they're going to live with for the rest of their life.
That's true.
And then you sit there and you look at the government, you say $700.
Yeah.
$750.
I read that.
That's what we get.
Yeah, can't Elon go down there and write a check for $500 million and help all these people get back on their feet? Can't all these billionaires go down there and just take get an army of food trucks, go down there and feed all the people that are hurting? Why is it always donations and set up GoFundMe's? Where's the money that these motherfuckers are making?
But again,
I wish I could give my money to them.
I will say this: it's their money. They're not entitled to give you anything. Okay.
No,
but the thing about it, what I will say is,
in the position to help.
What I will say is this, and I'm looking at every viewer out there, every person that's watching this video or will watch this video, and I say it's you. It's you that have put the money in the pocket of these people.
You're not wrong.
So, with that being said, you can't sit there and say you. You can't sit there and say it's your fault. That it's their fault. They're not giving their money. No, it's our fault for making them rich.
Look. All I'm saying.
That whole saying when it goes around. Oh, there's like a thing going around. We finally made the right person famous. Or I'm saying. When people are out there, they're doing good. They used to say about Mr. Beast all the time. We finally made the right person famous. Because he's out there giving back and blah blah blah. Who did we make famous? We made them famous.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Despite every accusation, despite everything that was ever caught, again going back to P. Diddy. Nobody's surprised. None of the viewers are surprised of what the allegations against him are. But again, we still supported everything he did. We still supported his artist. We still never demanded anything better. So, at that point, who do you point the finger at? Again, the same thing with the politicians, the same thing with everything else. The people have lost sight of the fact that they can make a change. And then when it happens, they want to point the finger at everybody else but themselves. And because why? Because we ourselves feel that we do not matter. Our voices are never heard. And it's that way of thinking that has led us to be where we're at now. Where we are at now as a society is the fact that we have all been demasculated, I guess you could say. Or defeminized. I don't know the word for that.
Repersonified.
Exactly. We've been broken down to the brittle nubs of being just a human with a name that tries to make. And what's the biggest thing we always say? Oh, I gotta look out for my own. Look out for my own.
Yeah.
Because that's
what are you talking about? Broken down to we're broken down to numbers now.
Yeah.
Only the people that know me know my name, like you and the viewers. The government knows me as a number.
Well, no, I don't mean by that. I don't mean the sense of in broken down by what other people perceive us as. I mean broken down into what we perceive ourselves as.
No, we're starting to perceive ourselves as a number too.
Exactly.
that
So
number is
when
how
you,
many likes you have, how many subscribers you have.
so we start to think of ourselves as nothing,
Yeah.
essentially.
By the way, guys, like and subscribe to the channel.
So when you get that and you get a society that's based off of that, what do you have? What do you have?
Chaos.
You have
That's what it feels like.
exactly. You have chaos. You have because you have people that have lost a sense of fight. You have people that lost the reason to keep going. And the crazy part about it is it's not over. Literally, it's not over. I don't know if guys are keeping up. Like I said, we just had our port dock workers go on protest, go on strike, guys. These guys just shut down almost the entirety of the East Coast port. These
They
workers.
settled it though, didn't they?
And they settled. That's the thing I'm trying to get to. That's the point I'm trying to get to. Is they settled. They settled. You know how much these guys are making? They settled on about $90-something an hour. Because
Dude,
why? Because these guys got together and they said, "Look, no more, no more. Are we taking it? No more no's, no more maybes, no more. Oh, I don't know. I can't fix it. Here's a pizza party."
Yeah.
But because they worked in unison, they got something accomplished. So when you look at this,
$97 an hour.
exactly. But I mean, come on. If a guy can get paid millions of dollars to run a football,
You're not wrong.
you're making more money than most. Than I don't want to say most, but all of the doctors and heart surgeons, people that are actually saving lives.
You're right.
Tell me I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Tell me that this isn't a fucked up society. Tell me we're not fucked up. We're not completely upside down.
No, I get it. And I'm telling you right now, unionized dock working is the most lucrative job in America because the value in what they do is there.
It's
Like you
what,
saw. If they
I tell
stop,
you,
America shut down.
dude, I tell you, man, I see so many injuries, stuff like that happen in workplace environments, dude. And I thought about it the other day, and I was like, you know what? I was like, why doesn't somebody make a documentary about serial killers? I was like, why don't somebody make a documentary about the true serial killers of America, and that is corporate America?
You really hate corporate America.
I don't hate corporate America, dude. What I hate is I hate the fact that people are allowing themselves to be controlled by this. I hate the mindset that people have when they sit there and say, "Oh, this is what I'm worth. This is the best I can do." You know what I'm saying? Because you pass that on to your children. You pass that on to your friends.
You do.
You pass that on to your buddies who come to you for advice. And that is not how we progress.
Well, it's not what America should be.
No, it shouldn't be. Like I said, we shouldn't have to protest. There should be nobody having to shut down the ports to get a raise, to get a living wage. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. I get you. It always killed me that even back in the 80s, a dude could be a checkout dude at Ralph's grocery store and have enough money that his wife could be a stay-at-home wife, and they had a house and groceries and cars and took vacations. Now, my wife and I, like I said, she's a professional. She makes almost 6 figures a year. I don't do that bad either, and we're almost paycheck to paycheck sometimes.
Let me tell you something.
Fucking ridiculous.
Let me tell you how sad this is. Let me tell you how sad America is. Okay, not the fact that other countries look at us as third world countries. Not the fact that other countries run ads to feed our starving. But the fact is, when it comes down to it, and you look at these news reports, and you sit there and you see how many people died from a hurricane at work.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah, did you hear about those 2 factory workers that were swept away in the waters because they weren't allowed to leave on time?
There was more than 2. There was more than just that factories. You know what I'm saying?
In that factory?
There was more. I mean, there's more buildings in general. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's
the only story I'd heard, but yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I get so upset, because of that. And you say I don't hate corporate America, but I do hate what we have allowed and accepted as the norm from corporate America.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go the other way with you on this one though, because you work for one of the largest, probably the
We
largest.
won't name. We won't name.
No,
I'm not gonna give any.
But product whatever in the world. I mean,
But again,
and
I'm
you
not going to speak.
aren't you
I'm
contributing?
not going to speak on that. Again, but I am giving my own personal opinion. But I'm not going to give an opinion to that. But I will
Okay.
give opinion to other things that are relevant to my job, that are similar to my job.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I will speak, and like I said, this is why I'm speaking because of this, because I see this and I've seen this firsthand of how corporate America treats people, and we allow it.
I guess I've been
Now, corporate
sheltered
America
from
is
that.
great because it provides jobs, right? It's giving me
Oh
a
yeah.
job. It's giving
Oh
millions and
yeah.
millions of people a job.
Millions.
That's why I'm saying this is why I'm not blaming corporate America. Because I'm going to tell you right now, corporate America isn't doing nothing but what corporate America does, and that is looking out for corporate America. If you yourself made a business, you would look out for your business.
Yeah.
Right? That's just how it goes. It's 101.
Yeah.
But this is why I say the fault lies on what we have come to accept as the norm. What
And
we have
like I said,
allowed corporate America to do to us.
that's my shortcoming is because I've never worked for a corporation. I've always worked for kitchens, and they're usually mom and pop or individual owners. I don't work for like well, let's not riot, please. Um, please don't do that.
Don't right.
Um,
Don't right.
no, don't do that. Don't fight like hell. Please just but I've never experienced corporate America like that. So I don't know what it's like to work inside of it like some people do. Um, but I buy their goods, I buy their services. I like having a nice TV and a cool phone and good beer. I don't know. So do I give up the luxury for the freedom? Maybe.
But do you have to? Is it necessary? Is that part of the deal? You think that if all of a sudden they would just be like, you know
It is
what,
kind of
cancel,
part of the deal, though.
but no, I'm saying you think they would just be like, you know what, cancel beer, take it off the shelves. We're not selling no more.
No, no,
Exactly.
but when you
Exactly.
have that, in order to sell more beer, you have to start
Look
lobbying. You have
look
to
at Bud
spend that
Light.
money to get into politics. And then all of a sudden,
Look
politics is killed
look at
because I
Bud
bought
Light.
a beer.
Okay, look at Bud Light. Look what happened with the whole LGBT thing.
We've
Bud
already,
Light.
I know, and I'm not gonna,
Okay,
I don't want to re-debate the
so
Bud Light thing,
but I'm saying though,
but I'm
with the
just,
whole concept of change, it's possible.
is it really?
Did they stop selling Bud Light? They just say, you know what, we're just not going to sell to you guys no more. No, they
No,
knew
they're
who the
right back up to
demographic
where they
was.
were.
They knew where the demographic was. They took it down. Again, like I said,
And they
this is the
probably gained
power.
2% in sales because of it.
This is the power that we, the people, have. Because again, corporate is worried about pockets. Corporate is worried about stocks. Corporate is worried about numbers. And when you mess with numbers, things change.
Of course
Because
they do, but we're not coming up with a solution here. What's the answer?
what's the answer? Find out. So you sit there and you come. And this is why I kind of bag on cancel culture a lot, because cancel culture had the right idea. They had the right idea. They had the numbers. They have the numbers, and they had essentially the power to do what was right, and they let it get to their head. They
Do you
let.
think cancel culture was right?
Do I think some people deserve to be canceled? Yes,
Do you think a lot of people that didn't deserve to be canceled got canceled? Absolutely.
exactly. Which is why I said it got to their head. Which is why I
If
said
somebody took the comment that I made about short people and circuses in the last episode seriously, because they know we're fucking joking, but if somebody took it seriously and canceled me, that's not fair. I didn't look at my real feelings,
again, exactly. Again, but again, there has to be a mediator. There
Does
has to
there
be.
though?
There has to
Then
be.
we're
You
fucking with
can't.
free speech, which we talked about last time.
Exactly. So we find ourselves in this loop of don't do
We're
it
in exactly. It's a
because
paradox
why?
almost.
Because why? You
It's like
know.
we can't lose our freedoms. We can't lose what we want, but we also can't lose what we want to own. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
We're afraid of everything. That's the problem. Americans are afraid of everything. We're afraid of other countries. We're afraid of our own country. We're afraid of our fucking neighbors. We're afraid of what's in the food, what's in the water, what's going on in Flint, what's going on in the White House. We're fucking, you know what we are? We're not afraid anymore. I think we're just worn out, dude. We're just tired of it all. I'm tired of this politician has said this. And then the same fucking, the exact same other news source will say, well, that guy didn't say that. He really said this. And it doesn't mean, who gives a fuck, I'm tired of it, dude. So tired of it all. Corporate America's fucking, yeah, you know what they are. And I'm tired of hearing about it. Can I just do what I do? Go to work, buy my beer, go to the show with my best friend, and then take care of my kids? Is
So
it
see
so
that?
hard?
See, there's nothing wrong with that.
Or am I
There,
complacent? Am I the problem?
there's nothing wrong with it. But again, people like that with that mindset are the reason that we've gotten so bad. Because everybody said, "What? It doesn't affect me. It's not happening outside my door. Why should I care?"
So what do you do to fix it then?
So exactly. So what can we do? Which is
No,
the
no, I'm
bigger
asking
question.
you, Fatsy. What do you do to fix it then?
This is what we do. We use our platform and we speak and we hopefully can essentially give the audience some form of knowledge.
The right answer always from Fatsy, man. That's what I was looking. That's exactly what I was. The answer I knew you were going
You
to
know,
give.
we
We're
use
doing what we're supposed to do.
we use a platform and we sit there and we hope that somebody out there, maybe not everybody, but one or two,
You don't have to
will take
agree.
this
Maybe you hear.
and make their lives better and sit there and say maybe tomorrow they sit there and say, hey, boss, he keeps piling me all this stuff on. And the more I work, the more I get rewarded with more work. Because the harder you work, that's what your reward is, more work. Because now they know they can count on you. Well, maybe one day you just sit and you say, hey, look, I'm not gonna find somebody else. I already have this going on. I said I appreciate it, but no. It starts small. It starts with taking accountability with your own life. You take some responsibility. You take a little more control of yourself and what's going on with your life, with the things that you can control. You
That's what I
take
said.
that.
I'm doing that.
So
Then when I do that, you say I'm still part of the problem.
but see, the thing is, why stop there?
What else can I do? I'm so consumed with everything I've got going.
So
How do you
okay,
make a change,
all right.
Jacob?
So let's say this.
When we're not doing the show,
Let's
how
say
do you
this.
step out of yourself and make a change?
So I
I
talk to
don't know
people. I
how
talk
to.
to a lot of people, right? And as we know, we're constantly putting shows on, right? We're constantly bringing PNS Studios to the next level.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is how we're progressing. Okay? So it may be small, but we are doing it. All right? Every show progresses. And with that show, we are not only just we're not only elevating PNS Studios, we're elevating everybody else around it. All the people that are incorporated with that particular program.
I do love elevating PNS.
So now we are bringing other people to the light, right? I like that.
Yeah.
We're bringing other people to the light. We're bringing other people into the view of the audience and giving them a showcase for themselves. And that's how
I do like that we
we're
have.
bringing other people up.
I do like that we have different views on things. That we can actually sit and talk about it, and then still, like we've talked about before, turn off the cameras and be best buddies again.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna make out after this. Tensions on. No, guys, but no, seriously, guys. In all, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for following, liking, subscribing, and sharing, guys. We have reached our hour mark, guys. But if you want to see more of this content, make sure you head on over to PNS Studios, guys, at the PNS Studios on YouTube. Search up PNS Studios on Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place.
We're all over the place.
Facebook, make sure you find us.
That's right.
Guys.
We're live on Facebook tonight.
Live on Facebook as well. So anybody watching Facebook, hey guys, we enjoy
Our YouTube viewers
here.
have been kicking it. Thank you, boys. We appreciate y'all.
And all for
me behind the pint's been killing it.
Yeah, absolute. Thank you for that sub, baby. Thank you for those sub. Yeah. As always, guys. And anybody that's new out there, anybody that just joined us, we appreciate it, guys. Make sure you join us every Tuesday, every Thursday for Phat and Spicy. If you like D&D, make sure you check us out on Monday for our Critical Idiots show. And don't forget
to
go
this next
on
Monday.
Yeah, you know it.
All right.
You know it. And then don't forget to check out our Behind the Pint show with Spicy. He just released a beautiful one. I went back and listened to it. It was amazing.
Dude, the views on that one, the comments on that one have been fun. Even the blooper. There was a blooper. If you guys watched the intro, I got caught sipping a beer as the camera came back on. You see me like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, definitely. Let's get out on YouTube. That's where all of our content will be posted, guys. Our clips and reels and stuff will be on our Instagrams and stuff like that.
And we're working on new shows.
Working on a new show, yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll see. As always, guys, I'm Phat.
I'm Spicy.
And this has been the Phat and Spicy Show.
Dude, you need to be careful out there with this storm. Keep me posted, will you?
Oh, you already know, dude. You already know that that's what,
I worry about you, man. You're all the way out there in fucking bumfuck nowhere.
Hey, dude, at least something's going to be blowing me, right?